Welcome back to another Racer X track examination. I'm joined today by Nick Romano, somebody that we've been desperately wanting to see out on the track after his really spectacular debut season last year outdoors. But unfortunately been missing due to injury. This would be essentially your home race, Nick. So how are you feeling? How are you getting back to being on a bike soon?
Yeah, so the recovery is coming along slowly but surely, and we're about 2 months post-op here from the ACL surgery, and just day by day, it's a long, slow process, but every day is a better day and a new day. So we'll be back soon. I don't know really when for race time or whatever, but like I said, taking it day by day now and just trying to enjoy the process.
Good deal, man. So we're going to be in East Rutherford, New Jersey, obviously. Kind of your stomping grounds in the vicinity of. So looking at this track at MetLife Stadium, what is the first thing about the track this weekend that stands out to you?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to go with the start because I know it is a tighter kind of stadium, and they have a pretty longer start, I should say. But it starts off wide, and then it gets really tight, kind of where that blue banner is, kind of right at like the stopping breaking point. And I think with how long the start could be or how wide it kind of starts off because of the gates, you could almost kind of like in Arizona maybe pull one from 3-4 right out of the box type, or even if someone on the inside gets a good start, they can get that wheel on you and hold that inside. But I think it is longer than I thought, so we're gonna have to see how it plays out. And then a kind of slower, wider first turn into that first rhythm section. But I think the start's gonna be the biggest key to this weekend's races.
So obviously we're jumping straight into a rhythm section right off the bat, which is always a little bit, I feel like a little sketchy in that first turn, especially if you don't get a great start. What rhythm do you think that they're going to take as a race line through that first rhythm section?
I would have to say right out of that first turn, if you can try and get that two, either two, probably two, table over single, 2-1, or I think if you're trying to hug the inside and get to that white line first, probably single, two, on off, and then either three into the turn or 2-1 into the inside.
What can we expect out of the soil? So I feel like the Northeast region has a very distinct kind of soil. So I imagine you've raced all over. What are we looking at for this weekend?
Yeah, with how I know how the New York dirt is and how the dirt has been at this race previously, it's going to be super loose. It's going to look like it has traction, but it's not really going to have traction underneath that first little base. So it's going to be super marbly and kind of little pebbles everywhere. And as the day goes on, it's going to get drier and drier. So I think the tracker's going to put more water on it, which will make it look good, but it'll be super undeceiving. So yeah, like I said, it's gonna look good, but I think riding it and racing it, it's gonna be super loose, and I don't know if it's gonna get too many ruts. To be honest with you, I think it's gonna be super loose.
What about the whoop section? Is it going to break down and be jumpers pretty early in the day, or do you think they'll hold up?
Yeah, I was looking at that, and I think the whoops are gonna be jumpers. I feel like every set this year has been start off skim and then just gone into jumpers, no matter how big or how short or long they are. So I think, especially at that right hand turn into a quick left 90 or 180. So yeah, I'm thinking jumpers for sure, especially in that 450 main event. They're going to be so broken down, and like I said, with the dirt's going to be super loose. So I'm just going to have to go with jumpers.
So obviously you were set to make your Supercross debut this season, and unfortunately that didn't play out. But what kind of thing are you doing, either personally or with the team? Like, are you still able to get something by like traveling to the races? Do you look at the track maps and still kind of prepare as if you were racing?
Yeah, honestly, my whole life, honestly, I've been super into like studying and looking at the tracks, and even if I'm racing or not racing, it's kind of just how I've been. So, and also trying to keep myself busy, doing stuff like this, studying the tracks. And I've gone to the past two Supercrosses. One was a West Coast round, one was East, and just trying to help my teammates and all my other buddies that are racing. So, yeah, it sucks I can't race, but I'm trying to help out everyone I can.
For sure. For the fans that are going to be there this weekend, are you going to be around the truck?
Yeah, I'll be there this weekend. Autograph signing. I'll be here on the truck all day. So yeah, whoever wants to come on by, swing by, and grab a picture, whatever you guys want.
For sure. So one last thing before I let you go, looking at the track map again, what do you think is going to be the one section that's going to be super crucial and going to cause like the most action, the most amount of passes, what have you?
So I think there's two good spots for passing. One will be the rhythm section before the whoop section, so that like across the start straight for the last time of that right hander, it looks to be like it's either gonna be not a split, but there's a face on the left side, and then you could either go on off, and then that inside has a dip, and then you could get table over single. So that could maybe play out to be something good. But I think the biggest spot, there's not a lot of passing opportunities on this track from what I see. But after the finish line, that small double, I think there's going to be quite a bit of speed there into a wider 180. So you could definitely, dive up the inside and either put someone over the bales or, kind of hold them off into that rhythm section. But I'd have to say the biggest one is after the finish line.
For sure, man. Well, I appreciate you joining me. Before I let you go, let the fans know how they can keep up with you as your recovery rolls on.
Yeah, so I'm pretty big on Instagram. My Instagram is Nick Romano 54. I'm trying to post as much as I can with my recovery and just old throwback videos I have. And yeah, other than that, I'm keeping it pretty low key. So yeah, I'll be back in a couple months, better than ever.
Cool, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me for this edition of RacerX Track Exam. Be sure to visit racerxonline.com for all of your motocross and supercross news.